Are your videos actually connecting, or are you just spiraling over numbers? Let's talk about it. If you're tired of the old cookie cutter marketing advice and want to take your personal brand to the next level with bold, actionable strategies that truly reflect you, you're in the right place. Let's untangle your marketing mayhem with Zoe, the video confidence coach, on the Unboring Your Brand podcast. Unboring Your Brand was recorded on Wadawurrung land. Thank you so much to Marissa for this question. We had a very healthy email exchange over a couple of months this is one of your questions. Ultimately, we had honestly 1,000. So thank you so much, Marissa, for reaching out. And if you are like Marissa and wanting some updates or be able to have your questions answered in this type of format, do let me know. You can always email me or message me on my social medias. I promise I do look at them. Not very often, but I do sometimes. But ultimately, we all know the feeling as marketing our personal brands or our business brands. Make sure to check out my podcast about why those things are different and why they're the same. Ultimately, we have all uploaded a video and checked 14 seconds later after we've gone back to it and wondering if we should all burn it down and just start a worm farm. And if you do worm farms, hello, please talk to me. I would love to know more about how you do your business. I would love to know more. I'd love to talk to you today about how to tell if your video content is actually landing with your audience or your intended audience, and if the numbers are just making you feel a bit queasy for no particular reason. When it comes to uploading specifically on social media, mainly just because that's where a lot of people focus, because that's where a lot of people spend their time. But this can apply to your emails, to your website, to YouTube. YouTube is a social media, but it's a little bit more like a repository as well as is a bit back and forth. So either way, when we're talking about this, the numbers don't tell the whole story. Views, which is how many people have viewed, either how many people or how many times your video has viewed, is helpful, but they're ultimately just the start of the story. And low views for a videos does not always mean that you have made low impact. I'll repeat that again. Low view counts on your videos does not mean you have made low impact. Some of my biggest clients and some of my best referrals, so these are people who are outside of my influence, like people who do not give a crap about my business, but they refer people to me, are people that come from quiet content. So I'll explain that in a sec, but ultimately, trust me. And if you don't feel like trusting me, then can continue to listen and carry on until you trust me. How do you know if your video is actually working? If your video is actually connecting with who you intend to talk to? And so here are some actual and non-anxiety inducing signs. So when it comes to social media or places that people can respond and comment, in the replies, so these can be email replies as well as comments, people actually respond with actual sentences. It's not just emojis. It's not just a great job or a, hey, with an emoji. Someone actually says, this made me think of such and such, or they ask a question of you. Questions are gold. Questions you can also answer within the comments, but also you can use that to make future content that answers that question, because people want answers, which is what I'm doing now with Marissa. Ha ha ha. See, everything's full circle. When the comments have actual sentences, you have sparked connection and you get a gold star. People referencing your content in DMs or discovery calls. This is gold. I have so many videos that I thought have absolutely flopped, podcast episodes that I thought no one ever listened to, and the numbers were in the single digits. And then I get on a discovery call, or I have a conversation in a DM, or like Marissa, having an email exchange over a couple of months. And they reference things that I have said in previous emails or in videos. That is evidence that people have watched and ultimately remembered what you have said. And if they are getting to the stage of even contacting you, keeping in mind there are plenty of people who just lurk in the background and who don't necessarily interact with your content. They love seeing you. They love seeing you every day. They watch your videos when they come out, or they not interact. They love what you do on the podcast, but they don't necessarily interact. There are so many people. LinkedIn is a very good example of this. There are so many people who do not interact on LinkedIn. But I get majority of my referrals that way. Why? Because I'm showing up and doing the work that people are too afraid to do. And you can do that too. You just have to step outside your comfort zone and do it too. You can always talk to me about it. Don't worry, I've got a Pick My Brain session. Check it out on my website. Another example of how you know it's actually working is saves and shares. So these can be found in your analytics on whichever social media platform is your preferred platform, or you can check them all out. They're going to be in different areas: insights, analytics, wherever the back end of your page is. If someone saves your content or shares it to come back later, this is a big yes for the algorithm, because algorithms love that stuff. And also it's a big win for your audience, because it shows that people are wanting to come back to your stuff. And also when they share it, they usually are sharing it outside the platform. So these can be in Slack channels, in Discords, in Reddits, in other platforms like that. Another example of things looking out well for you are growth in lurkers. Hello again. So these are quiet followers who still count. They are, so if you're getting a slow trickle of followers every time you post, that's a sign that your content is attracting the right eyes. These people may not be taking action because we are bombarded by a lot of drives to take action every day. Not everything is going to resonate with everyone. That's why you have different messages, and you are not overwhelming them, Marissa. You are not bogging them down with details. You are answering their questions, and you can do so in shorter, sharper chunks, especially when it comes to social media. But you ultimately have the same message. You're just converting it in different ways for different people. And with the lurkers, there are going to be people that you grow the number, and that is a good sign. And last thing I want to give as an example today is referrals or shout outs that you did not ask for. I have so many people who I thank you and hello again to everyone who either tags me or like drops my name in a group thread. It means that your content is working, because people who you may not have met, or people that you met in the distant past, or even people that you have never met, are sharing you and shouting out your business when it comes to people seeking a solution to their problem. And I've had many people reach out to me and say, hey, this person recommended you, or this person mentioned you. I want to know more. And I'm able to help them do that. So what to do if you're spiraling over numbers? And spiraling over the numbers is okay. I understand. I have been there multiple times, more than I can count. And especially when you are not an actor or someone who has been a celebrity or famous to even a E-grade celebrity to a degree. There is this bias from people outside of that fame umbrella that the amount of people and the amount of numbers that you have directly influences the amount of influence that you have. And that is not the case. And for you in your journey, no matter where you're starting when it comes to your business or your personal brand, you are starting from somewhere. Now, you may not be starting this right today, or you may have been doing this for a while, but making sure that when you post a video and you don't immediately get the numbers that you're hoping for, making sure that you zoom out to the big picture. It's not just one video. It's not just one message. Because if we all had one message, the world would be rather quiet. Indeed. And your community, they want more of it. They want a simple question of what would you love to learn from me? Something as simple to prompt their questions that they have for you. And for example, there are plenty of lurkers of people who don't want to take action just yet. That is also okay. But you are going to be there when they turn from lurkers to action takers. And say it with me, keep showing up. Because your consistency, in turn, dictates how people are going to treat you. And say, for example, and I'm working with a couple of clients now who are currently facing this, where they have done something for 6 months, they've done it for a year, and it's not giving them the return on the investment that they want. And we look back and see what things can be changed. And it may be a case that that method didn't work out. It may be a case that that platform doesn't really work for you. Fine. Take your foot off the accelerator. Post slightly less or repost content that worked really well in the past so you can continue to grow the community that you have there. But put your efforts into something new or put your efforts into another platform. Do not let it burn just because it hasn't given you the results straight away. But take your focus off it and be able to use the work that you've already created, the effort that you've already put into it, and be able to repeat it and replicate it for yourself. TLDR. Numbers are useful, but they're not the whole truth. Look for your replies, look for your referrals, and look for your real conversations. And ultimately, when it comes to your brand, trust your gut, trust your community, and don't let the stats boss you around. Because of course, those stats are heavily linked with the people that run those platforms. And what do those platforms want? They want eyeballs so they can sell advertising. So you are trying to do your best to get your message out there. So in turn, you need to be consistent. You need to show up. And ultimately, Marissa, if the numbers aren't showing what you want to see, giving yourself a chance to reflect, look at the bigger picture. And if not, feel free to have a chat with me via my Pick My Brain session on my website. Look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Thank you for listening or watching Unboring Your Brand. You can find detailed show notes with tools, offers, and episode transcriptions. Just click the first link in the description or go to vcc.training/podcast. Get involved and ask me anything about personal branding, video strategy, or just a friendly small business chat via my email, g'day@vcc.training. That is gday@vcc.training. The Video Confidence Coach would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I record my podcast. I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Look forward to me chatting at you next week, superstars.